representing that murder, death, kill gang, hate club, Eastern Bloc, gang affiliated, MDK all fucking day, the man, the king, the fucking god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. How'd you like that? Wasn't that some shit? Nick Gage has made quite the fucking name for himself in the last week, has he not? With his appearance on Dark Side of the Ring, and then he's been all over the podcast circuit. He did a podcast with Ron Funches, which is very interesting and a little bit awkward, to be honest with you. And then he appeared on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, Insight. I was fucking blown away. Like, it was interesting that he got the Dark Side of the Ring treatment, but I didn't think he was going to be on, like, Chris Van Vliet's podcast. This guy interviewed The Rock, if you didn't know. So I was super blown away when I heard that, and I immediately jumped on it and hit play. You know, I knew of Nick Gage prior to all of this shit. I've actually known his name for probably 10 years, just watching old CZW videos and shit. But I really didn't think much of him other than CZW guy. Barbed wire, light tubes, just, you know, just a garbage wrestler guy, to be honest with you. But, man, after the Dark Side of the Ring, after hearing this interview with Chris Van Vliet, I got to tell you, I have a little bit of love and respect for the man. And I think you will too. Check out this clip of him talking with Chris about nearly murdering David Arquette.
What kind of backlash did you receive after the David Arquette match?
Well, I never go on the internet, so I don't even know, man.
Because, I mean, that became a mainstream thing.
Yeah, I was on TMZ. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
My wife's like, you're on TMZ? I was like, no, I'm not. And then I was on TMZ. You know, I took it, you know, he needed to stick to the script, you know what I mean? And he went off the script and shit like that. You know, it wasn't my fault. Listen, I'm very good at what I do in deathmatch wrestling, and I know how to do things to take care of you. It might look like you're fucking getting hurt and you're getting crushed, but really, like, I know how to do things that won't hurt you as bad as if I do it the real way, you know?
Do you think he just got scared?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're pizza cutting his forehead and then you pizza cut his mouth.
Yeah, but just relax. You know, you're not the first guy.
You know? I mean, think about that. It's tough to relax when someone has a pizza cutter in your forehead.
Yeah, but he already knows, man. You know, we had the discussion already. You know what I mean? It's entertainment, man. I'm not going to cut your friggin' thing open. But if you're going to move your mouth open like this, when I tell you to stand still, relax. You know, I'm entertaining
My
the
heart's
crowd.
racing even thinking about this.
You know, that's all I'm going to do.
So how did he get the light tube in his neck?
He spun and tried to shoot a double on me. And I had the glass in my hand where I was going to, you know, I know what I'm doing, man. You know what I mean? And when I was here, he spun and it went in his neck. And at first I was like, damn, did I just kill David Arquette? That was my first thought in my head, right?
Do you think he knew what he was getting himself into?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he was doing it for the documentary. I didn't even know he was shooting a documentary. I try to explain to him, man, all this shit's real, man. This glass is real. This shit's real. I think he when I started turning it up a notch, I think he started like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. You know, is this guy taking liberties on me or whatever? But no, I'm just going in, man. You know, what am I supposed to do? Take it easy on the actor, and then I got to wrestle freaking G-Rave or Alex Colon or Schlack or any of the awesome, crazy deathmatch guys.
Yeah.
And then go in on them. You know what I mean?
So like you treated him like you treated everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, again, I mean, like, I knew of the guy, but I didn't know the guy. Now I feel like I know the guy. Now I know his full story from Dark Side of the Ring, which they did an incredible job. He had said in these interviews that he was a little bit nervous that they were doing that. You know, he's a wrestling fan. He's aware of the Dark Side of the Ring. He's aware of what they do. He was willing to do the show, but he was nervous because he put his heart on the line for it. He put everything out there and kind of put it in their hands, and they could have really did a hit piece on him. Look at this fucking junkie, criminal, garbage wrestling fucking moron. But they didn't. They did it classy. They treated him well in the episode. I think they did more for his career than against him for sure. Just the awareness that they put out there, and then the podcast circuit that preceded it. Not just, I mean, you got to look at this. All of this has an echo effect, not just like this podcast here, but like you look at, there's Conrad Thompson's Dark Side of the Podcast. Then you got Chris Van Vliet hitting Nick up and being like, hey, man, you got a show out. Come on and talk about it. You got Ron Funches, the fucking comedian, going, hey, man, come on and talk about it. He probably did a couple other interviews that I wasn't able to catch. Then you got, people reviewing the Dark Side of the Ring TV show on their YouTube or podcast or whatever. So Nick Gage's name is now out there to the masses. And I think it's there to stay. I think it's only up for Nick Gage. He's been in this business for many years already. You would think he's close to the end of it. He's about 40, so he's definitely not a spring chicken, but he's got a program he's working with Moxley. If there's a video out there floating around of Moxley interrupting Nick Gage after his win, going out there and fucking dropping him on his head on top of a bunch of light tubes. So they're going to be working a program, apparently, which Moxley has enough name value at this point to where Nick Gage in the garbage wrestling matches are not going to bring Moxley down. Moxley's going to bring up Nick Gage. And they're going to have a hell of a fucking fight. And I hope, if I was Jon Moxley, I'd put a fucking pizza cutter in my pocket. Wouldn't even tell him about it. I'd just bust it out in the middle of the match and be like, yeah, motherfucker. What now, bitch? Apparently that pizza cutter is a Nick Gage specialty, as he took it to David Arquette as well. David Arquette, going back to the clip now, and I'm just all over the place on this one. It doesn't fucking matter. Don't worry about it. It's Nick Gage time. But David Arquette was like, told him up front, like, dude, just don't cut me. Whatever you do, like, I gotta, I'm an actor. The way my face looks is important. And Nick Gage said, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. And then went out there and fucking carved him up with a pizza cutter. Now, if you've played with a pizza cutter in the past, it barely fucking cuts pizza, let alone human flesh. They're not that sharp. But if you put enough pressure into it, you can carve somebody up. Now, Nick Gage maintains that he knows what the fuck he's doing. That just I'm a pro, bro. Like, I know how to do it without hurting you. Just fucking let me do my thing. And he maintains that, that Arquette panicked. Like Arquette said in Dark Side of the Ring, I told him not to cut me, and he starts cutting me, so I freaked out. And he did. He was cutting him. He had the light tube on his face and shit. And it was that freak out in that moment where he spun around and tried to take Nick down that he caught that light tube right in the fucking neck. Because Nick wasn't prepared for that. So the light tube was in a position to carve David's face open and to do it for the crowd, to kind of show it and work it a little bit. So he's just holding out that sharp edge there. Arquette turns around, boom, catches it right in the fucking neck. And Nick said, and others have said that, it wasn't that bad and he was just being a pussy. Others maintain the dude almost died. He could have had blood splurting out of his fucking neck. They didn't actually see it gush. I don't think it might have, actually. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point being, we got a couple different sides of this story. David Arquette just didn't belong in there. I am a full fan of David Arquette. I support him. I'm not a hater on him like a lot of people are. It wasn't his choice to be champion. In fact, he declined it. He knew that it would outrage fans. And this whole fucking thing he was doing, was it for the documentary that he put out? Yes. But the reason behind the documentary was to redeem himself to the wrestling fans. He had unfinished business, and he wanted to go out and finish it. He wanted to prove to the wrestling fans that not only could he do it, but he wanted to earn the respect of the wrestling fans. No, he wasn't going to be a top guy. No, he wasn't going to be good. But he was going to try his ass off and prove that he tried and earn it. And do a little movie on the side to film it and make money off the whole thing. But regardless, doesn't matter. And I get wanting to add a true death match to that list. Like, Okay, I want to earn respect. I'm going to go out and work a bunch of indie matches, but how do I really show that I have love for this, that I'm willing to put my body on the line just like the rest of these guys? I'm not a prissy-ass actor who's just coming out there and just fucking playing wrestler still. I want to go out there and just bleed and die like everybody else in a death match. And if you're going to do a death match, if you just pick one death match that you're going to have for your entire life, you can't go wrong picking Nick fucking Gage to be your opponent in a death match. But you got to know what you're getting into. Because yes, I do think a huge chunk of Nick Gage is a work as far as playing up the character. I think that character's in there, don't get me wrong. It's his character turned up to not even to 11. It's his character turned up to like just 3 more points than it already is, you know. Like that guy's in there. That guy's not somebody you want to fuck with. That's one thing I think I've gotten pretty clear out of getting to know him a little bit is he's going to be one of the more real guys that you run into out there in the quote-unquote fake world of professional wrestling. But he's still playing up the gimmick. He's not going to kill you. It's not his intention to go out and murder somebody or maim them. And he wasn't going out there to be a douchebag and, oh, who's this guy think he is coming into our wrestling business? I'm going to show him. It wasn't that either. But what it was, okay, we can do this, but I'm not going to take it easy on you. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight you just like I would fight any other guy in any other death match. I'm not going to pull my punches. I'm not going to not carve your face off with a light tube. You want a death match? Here's your fucking death match, bro. I'll take care of you, but I'm also going to fuck you up. And Arquette just shouldn't have been in that situation. He got in too deep. It was somebody who's just learning to swim and goes, I'm going to jump off the fucking boat in the middle of the ocean now. Probably not the best idea. But for all of that and all the other shit surrounding Nick Gage, he's earned my respect. I do think what he does to me is kind of garbage wrestling. I did like it at a time, you know, when I was younger. I was into that shit. I think we all kind of, if we came across deathmatch wrestling, especially like in our teenage years and that kind of thing, that does become interesting to us. But as an adult, when you start to realize like, hey, these guys aren't getting paid very much and they're kind of like just shitty, dumpy, bummy people, white trash trailer park, fucking, you know, not trying to stereotype people. I'm not trying to knock anybody, but it is. It fucking is. ECW was, and this was an extension of that. But it is an art form nonetheless. Guys on the elite level like a Nick Gage, they're not just going out there and just hitting each other over the head with shit the whole match. They are telling a story. They are being workers. And for some wrestlers, this is the only type of match that they can wrestle. For others, this is the only type of match that really gets their blood going. Look at Jon Moxley. He's an elite level professional wrestler. Champion of the WWE. Twice, I think, right? Twice. Champion of AEW. Champion in New Japan. He was in the Shield, for fuck's sakes. Jon Moxley is a big, big star. But what gets his cock hard is ultra-violence. He likes the deathmatch shit. And a lot of people do. I know people who enjoy a good death match. I know deathmatch wrestlers who love it. It's fun for them. Syringes in the mouth and every fucking thing. I've seen it all. Nick Gage is the king of that world. Like it or not, like that world or not, is it your kind of wrestling? Are you going to watch it? Maybe, maybe not. But Nick Gage is the man in that world. He's not somebody to be fucked with. He is a little bit rough around the edges, but I think, you know, deep down, he's a wrestling fan. He's a big softy. He listens to these wrestling podcasts just like the rest of us. He's a normal dude. He's a crazy dude. He's just kind of a scary dude, but he's also a normal dude. And I got nothing but respect for the man after this week of Nick Gage and getting to know him better. And hey, man, I hope to see more from him. I hope that when him and Moxley do work their angle, because they are working an angle, I hope that blows him up. I hope that he gets good exposure for it. maybe even a crossover into AEW. Believe it or not, Nick Gage does do normal wrestling matches. You can go out on YouTube right now. I found a promo that he cut on Matt Riddle for a match. I couldn't find the match itself, but he was talking about working Matt Riddle. He's got a match working Tessa Blanchard. He's got a match working MJF. So he's not just a garbage wrestler guy. He can do normal shit too. And, he's similar to like an Eddie Kingston, I think. Just another buddy bro that could pop up in AEW. Hey, I'm just fantasy booking here. But, I'm rambling at this point. Much love to Nick Gage. Much love to Dark Side of the Ring. And go listen to this interview or watch it on YouTube with Chris Van Vliet. It's fucking fascinating. It's charming. You see a man, Nick Gage is very closed off. He's not used to this world. He's got that. He acts like somebody who's done a lot of hard time. You see people that come out of prison. They're skittish. They're uncomfortable around people till they can warm up. They're weary. Nick's rocking around in his chair a lot. He's got, at one point, Chris comments, "Hey, I see you got a Monster Energy drink there and a knife. You carry that on the plane, did ya?" Nick's like, "No, man, no, I didn't carry it on the plane, but you got to keep a knife with you. I always stay with a knife." Okay, then. You can just set that on the table next to your Monster Energy drink during our interview. But he, as the course of the interview went on, he started to get more comfortable and he started to unwind a little bit. And I think they really made a connection. And I think he connected with all of us. Please go check that out. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend. Most recommended podcast episode of this entire week. Go check it out. That's Chris Van Vliet's Insight, wherever your podcasts or YouTube videos are found. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel. And while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. And don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.